Hey everybody, thanks for joining us. My name is Jordan Taylor. I am the product steward for Care Chemicals here at Colonial Chemical. Some of you may be more familiar with Dr. Andy Sun, who previously headed up the business manager role for this segment. He's still around, but he's taken up general manager of the Asia Pacific region. So typically he's on a 12-hour time difference. So feel free to reach out to me initially. But yeah, Dennis Abaduto has taken over business manager for this segment. But I do a lot of the spearheading of the technical portion. Yeah, so an innovation in drying agents. I'm going to be talking about how to eliminate mineral seal oil from your car wash, specifically drying aids, and all the benefits that we can provide. So just briefly, for those of you who are not as familiar with Colonial Chemical, we are a specialty surfactant manufacturer located in South Pittsburgh, Tennessee. We have a line of advanced vehicle care products. We have been a personal care forward company for many of our years, but over the years, we've transitioned into practically every market. So we, for that reason and being a specialty manufacturer, we have a broad product selection to build our vehicle care portfolio. We also focus on green chemistry practices and lowering environmental impact of our products, and therefore your products. We focus on ease of use. We, of course, have individual components that you can build your products with, but we also provide blends and ready-to-use products. And then, along with being specialty, there's a few things that, like lower effective use rates, products being multifunctional, and those relating to being able to consolidate your inventory. We still have a focus on cost savings. We have an active R&D department. I actually just left R&D about a year ago. We love working on projects with customers. If you've got any needs or products that you're thinking about that we can help you with, please reach out. Our website is a great resource. We've got blogs, we've got webinars, obviously, lots of resources and technical information. For vehicle care, we provide a specialty products brochure, which has a number of our products focused on the vehicle care space and descriptions. We also provide a formulary guide that helps people get started on their formulas and gives people a good idea about how to use our products and which products work well together. So I'll give you an overview of some things I'm going to talk about and some concepts. Obviously, we're going to be talking about mineral seal oil drying aids. These drying aids prepared with mineral seal oil and quaternary ammonium compounds, dicoco diammonium chloride, aka dicoco-quat, is very standard one to use. And you put these together and form microemulsions, which is the key technology of these drying aids. The functionality is when diluted and sprayed onto a wet car. These emulsions break and cause the water to shed off the car. And then there are a number of issues that many of you are probably aware of already, but I will detail all of them. And then the other thing I'm going to talk about is ceramic drying aids. So this is a different technology. They comprise of silicone components. The term ceramic in this market is a little loose on the definition, but they usually all compose of some sort of silicone component and other multifunctional components. The mechanism is electrostatic deposition, so completely different from the microemulsion breaking. And there is a number of benefits to these types of products that I will also detail. And specifically, I'm going to go over our new innovation, which is Cold-Dry CAV, which is a new cost-efficient solution. Some drying concepts, water breaking. Most of you probably know, but this is the process of breaking that interfacial tension between the water and the surface of the vehicle and allowing the water to come off the car. There's different actions. Beating and sheeting is what's typically talked about. And both of these actions are related to contact angle. Contact angle is generally how water behaves on the surface. If water spreads out across the surface, that's a very low contact angle. High contact angle means the water droplet is going to lift off the surface and sit as a bead on top of the surface. So that beading action, you're going to see more of that. The sheeting action, generally, both of these shed water off the car and can be equally as fast. Sheeting tends to help the liquid pull together and come off in one sheet, often providing a more efficient drying. Hysteresis is another concept, fancy word, but essentially just means how mobile the liquid is on the surface. It's a very simple measurement. It has to do with the advancing and receding contact angles. So a static contact angle is just the angle at which the drop is lifted off the surface. Advancing and receding are sort of steadying the drop under motion. So advancing as the droplet is advancing onto a surface, wetting the surface, receding as the droplet is moving away from the surface or de-wetting. So the hysteresis is advancing minus the receding. And it gives you an idea of how mobile that water is on the surface. Concentration and dilution ratio. Both these types of products rely on dilution-dependent performance. And I'll talk specifically about MSO drying aids and how that's a particularly key issue that we can overcome. And then points like viscosity and pH I will also discuss as they're important. Some distinctions I'd like to make are related to contact angle and performance, and that is applying the product on an untreated surface versus water on a treated surface. So applying the product in the car wash and the performance you see there before it's treated. And then once you leave or rinse, you have the performance of water on the surface that's already been treated. So both of these matter for performance. And then surface properties and durability. So this is, lots of things, including hydrophobicity, surface protection, hysteresis, lubricity, gloss, things like this, and then how long these performance characteristics last on the vehicle. So moving right along, I'm going to talk about ceramic concentrates. These are ready to use when you dilute, or can be used as additives. So the two products we have in this category are Color CAV and Color CR502. CR502 is our flagship product, and Color CAV is our newest innovation in this category. Both are proprietary blends of ceramic polymers and other multifunctional chemistries. They're water-based, oil-free, MSO-free, highly dilutable, up to 1 to 2,000 plus. And I can talk about that further. You can prepare multiple offerings based on dilution strength. Anything from economy drying aids all the way to premium ceramic sealants, simply based on dilution strength. They are very durable, particularly when comparing to MSO formulas. These are not reactive chemistries. So these are not the type of ceramics you will see in detail products that offer 1 to 5 years of protection. But compared to mineral seal oil, dicocoquat type formulations, these offer considerable durability in comparison. They're reclaim compatible, and I would say go beyond this to being reclaim preferred products. They are non-flammable, and they allow for streamlined chemical inventory and moving away from the more complex formulations and production issues associated with MSO products. So while both of these products, Color CAV and the Color CR502, can be used for the range of offerings, again, from the ceramic coatings to drying aids, they are optimized in one direction or the other. CR502 is optimized for premium ceramic coatings with a balanced beading and sheeting action, whereas Color CAV is optimized for drying performance with sheeting action and to replace your standard dicocoquat MSO drying aid formulations. I'm going to focus on Color CAV since this webinar is about offsetting the MSO formulations in your car wash drying aids. It is a high performance MSO-free drying aid, but again, like I said, can be used for spray wax and sealant type offerings. It is a novel combination of functional ingredients. Along with our trusted silicone sealant, we include a unique multifunctional zwitterionic surfactant that boosts performance. This is a component not available on the market from anyone else, and is key to this product and the benefits you see. It's high performance while being considerably lower cost. It has a reduced silicone load while maintaining that typical peak performance of ceramic products. It has a less quaternary load overall, which relates to being optimal for your reclaim systems. And of course, no MSO, no oils. It's a high efficiency product. You see similar dilution rates as standard MSO products. And like I said, drastically improved durability compared to them, as well as, again, I'd like to highlight cost competitive to MSO drying aids. Typically, since ceramics came out, the choice has been, the significantly cheaper MSO products that may come with a number of issues, or you go to the ceramic products, which are much pricier, sort of luxury specialty product. So this product in particular breaks that economic barrier, offering you many of the benefits of ceramic technology at, again, more cost competitive price. So I'm going to talk about some of the issues around MSO formulations, and I've sort of split it up between issues more common to manufacturers and issues more common to operators. Several of these first points sort of go together. Labor-intensive production, formulation costs, limited performance claims, and requiring additives. MSO formulas require you to make the microemulsion, and many of you probably are aware of the headaches that can come along with that. Maybe you've got it streamlined, but you probably don't escape every last little batch that requires reworking, extending the batch times and costs. They can be tricky, especially if you're introducing any new additives, things like this, and then watching for your stability. Generally, much more labor intensive. The cold dry CAV, there's no microemulsion to prepare or stabilize, so you avoid this altogether. Formulation costs. CAV is a simple dilution-based performance product, so there's no formulation needed. Often with your standard MSO formulas, you have very limited performance claims. So, you know, the durability is not there. You're not providing any gloss, any long-term lubricity, things like this. All of those require additives and formulation and checking stability, things like this. Even the water breaking performance on these products require additives to modify it. And I could talk about that in the next slide. But all of this is avoided with cold dry CAV. No required additives to boost performance claims or modify the water breaking. Two more points. First, particularly relevant today and recently, oil price cost volatility. CAV is much farther removed from direct oil price spikes compared to MSO formulations, which can have, you know, double-digit percentages of mineral seal oil. And then flammability. There are non-flammable options for the MSO formulations, but they can be pricier. CAV is a non-flammable product. It eliminates all of those associated costs with shipping and regulations and whatnot. So issues for operators. One of the key ones is probably a dilution performance failure. You know, if you happen to overdose your drying aid, it leads to immediate water break failure. Cold dry CAV has a significantly wider dilution performance window. You essentially avoid that over dilution issue altogether. If anything, the performance just gets better. You still want to watch, obviously, and make sure you're not over diluting your chemicals. But if it happens, you're not going to have upset customers. Microdroplets and water spotting. This goes back to needing additives for the MSO formulations to modify this. Dicoco-quat has a particularly high contact angle. And if I can go back briefly to the hysteresis, you can have high contact angles and high contact angle products that have very low hysteresis, which means there's a very high contact angle, but the water does not move off the surface. It's pinned on the surface. And when you turn blowers on them, instead of running off the car, they fracture into lots of tiny droplets, which in effect leaves the car still wet, and can lead to water spotting and whatnot. Cold dry CAV, highly efficient with the water sheeting action to optimize the drying, and very good hysteresis. Oil residues and windshield glare are common for MSO formulations. For the 10th or 12th time, CAV's MSO-free, oil-free. It leaves no residue. I guess key would be that even at the more concentrated dilutions that you may use for ceramic offerings, there's no residue, no streaking, no window glare, any of that. Another issue with MSO, the dicocoquat is notorious for gelling at certain dilutions or in cold weather, and can cause instability of the formulas. So CAV, no microemulsion, no stability issue, and it's stable on a wide variety of pre-dilutions. Wastewater costs and reclaim incompatibility. This goes back to the quaternary compounds. Supposedly, I'm not a big advocate for removing the quats for reclaim systems, for example. I think your anionics are more of the issue. I digress. Not having MSO in your formula is going to be a benefit to your wastewater costs, lower total organic carbon and chemical oxygen demand. These are figures that wastewater looks at when they charge you. And then again, it's a reclaim optimized product. CAV in particular has the lower quaternary load. It's also more biodegradable than our previous product, and higher bio-based, for what that's worth to your customers. And then durability is key, and I'll have some videos momentarily to demonstrate this, but MSO dicocoquat formulations, the durability fades almost immediately, and you can see that in real time, whereas cold dry CAV offers extended durability, even at drying aid dilution levels, which is key. Few additional strengths. Again, I want to highlight the economic barrier removed from making that decision. Do I want to, use the MSO with some additives? I've still got all of these labor considerations, or do I want to pay more than I want for a ceramic type material? Does that even make sense? So CAV has brought the price down to a much more competitive and price that should be considered. It's a multifunctional product by dilution strength, whereas MSO formulations you may need to reformulate if you're going to use your formula for a more premium product. CAV, you just use a higher concentration to boost all of the performance effects, and there's no formulation required. Again, it's a more biodegradable and bio-based product. If you want to stand out from the crowd, it's very customizable. You can add additives if you want. The components in this product are particularly friendly to all types of surfactants, not likely to complex with other surfactants. One of the reasons it's optimized for reclaim, but also optimized for customizing. Inventory simplification. I think that goes without saying at this point. And if nothing else sounds interesting, this can also be used as an additive. So what to expect of various wash formats. Self-service, it's perfect for a wax or drying aid to ease blow drying, or for operations that are using the towel offerings. Limits the toweling to reduce the marring of the paint. And then IBA, rollover, and tunnel or conveyor. CAV has a water break with or without rinse off, which means compatibility with either layout. If you have a spot for your rinse that follows it, or if you're using it as the last stage before the blowers, either works. And then, of course, ultra-lean dilution can extend past 1 to 2000 when preceded by other protectants. So on your basic packages, you're getting great economy. On your higher end packages, you may be able to extend that dilution out even further. So for all formats, no MSO, that being a benefit to wastewater costs. And then, it's really going to optimize your reclaim system with lower quat content, increased biodegradability, and broad surfactant compatibility. Okay, so a couple key considerations with these types of products and Cold-Dry CAV. pH neutralization. Since you are not relying on the emulsion breaking, but instead the electrostatic deposition, you need the surface of the vehicle to be pre-neutralized to either a neutral or acidic pH. This is because any residual alkalinity holdover from your pre-soaks, if on the surface, you are, instead of depositing the product onto the car, you are going to be essentially neutralizing the alkalinity on the surface. This is going to have an effect on the dilution performance. You're going to have to, break through that alkalinity before you start depositing onto the surface. Many wash formats already operate this way. It's a benefit to your other wax or premium products as well. So it wouldn't just benefit the drying aid, but benefit all of the other protectants that you're putting on. And then viscosity. Obviously, viscosity is very important for draw rates and dilution and things like this. CAV is a water-thin product. You may need a metering module to control for excessive draw rates, especially if your customer is currently using the dicocoquat-based formulations, or if they don't have options to increase the dilution past what is typical. Product's cost efficiency relies on this ultra lean dilution rates, which can be more difficult with water thin products. But the dilutions are from less than 1 to 250 to higher than 1 to 2000. while you avoid completely the overdosage water break failure of the MSO products, you don't want to waste product. Metering modules can address this, the need for lean dilutions, and the viscosity considerations. If your customers or your operators' options are limited, or if pre-dilution is not preferred. So lots of options, and I'm happy to talk with anybody who has questions about this. Okay, now the show and tell. So these are standard MSO formulations in comparison to the cold dry CAV. It's a 100% active formulation at a 1 to 2,000 dilution. And cold dry CAV as applied at a 1 to 2,000 dilution. Videos have been sped up so that you're not sitting here watching, but keep that in mind. So you can see the sheeting action of the CAV, the MSO formulation, slightly overdosed. So you require the rinse to really see the breaking. CAV worked immediately, rinse immediately. But now you can already see on like the second or third rinse that the MSO formulation durability is already fading. And of course, what you see is dependent on how much water you're pouring on the surface. So if you soak the surface, you can get a more sheeting action. But if you're using a lighter spray, you can see more of a beading action. So it's dependent on the flow rate as well. So this next video is the same car after we ran this test. 2 weeks later, it's been driven around. It was in the south in Tennessee. We had some snow. Temperatures have been fluctuating. But 2 weeks later, stored outside, and we wet the surface down. And the durability, again, at a drying level dilution, is still there. It's not as flashy as initial, but you'll see that the MSO formulation, there's no performance left over. This is particularly important, I'd point out, for customers who typically use the cheaper package and don't have any additional protectants. That means the soils that they encounter are going to be adhered to the surface more firmly, making your job to clean the car afterwards more difficult. So having a product like this as your drying aid is ideally going to make your job of cleaning the car when they come back that much easier, even if they're using a basic package. And then at higher dilutions, MSO formulation way overdosed, doesn't break at all. CAV immediate and continuous. You can see the durability, even at higher concentrations, has just as much immediate fade for the MSO formulations. And next video is also a 2-week aging study after this application. So you can see much faster at the higher dilutions. You have improved durability, improved resistance to soil adhesion, durable lubricity on the surface to prevent marring, gloss, all of the above. Okay, so this demonstration I wanted to include because this is a comparison to a competitive ceramic material. So while we highlight this product for drying aids, I would like everybody to also consider that it's great for your premium products as well. So on the left, 1 to 500 dilution of a competitive material, and on the right, 1 to 500 dilution of cold-dry CAV. And immediately you can see the difference between the sheeting action and the more beading end. And then on rinse, the difference seems to nearly disappear. Again, different flow rates giving different behavior characteristics. But if you soak down, we do this to show you that there's likely even an increase in durability with this product compared to some competitive materials. So in the lab, we have a tensiometer where we can run dynamic contact angle. So that gives us the advancing and receding contact angles. So steadying the surface quality and the behavior of liquid on that surface under motion. So the initial action of the drying agent is shown here. At the beginning, I made a point to differentiate the performance when applying the product on the untreated surface and the performance of applying water once the surface has been treated. And I'll show you the difference here. So the substrate we use for the tensiometer is a glass slide. So analogous to other car surfaces, but directly related to glass. And the windshield is sort of a key part of the customer expectation. So directly related to that, but also analogous for the surface. Then we do the split hood tests to confirm. So the graph, we have contact angles of drying agent on the untreated surface, 1 to 500 dilution. You can see the competitive material has a higher contact angle, which if you look at the pictures, gives you this sort of behavior and action of the water break. And then the cold dry CAV has a lower contact angle, which gives you this sheeting performance. So this slide is showing you the contact angles of tap water on the treated surface. And you can see that the difference between the products is almost non-existent, not statistically significant. So while the hysteresis is not as good on the rinse, it is comparable to MSO formulas. But I guess I would point out that the key benefit to that water removal would be use without a subsequent rinse. And so here's a chart of all-in-one applications for cold dry CAV via direct dilution, pre-dilution, or dilution pump. And I've got a note at the bottom, ideal for dilution pumps. Venturi systems likely need metering modules or modified dilution conditions for high draw rates on ultralean dilutions of this water-thin product. So keep that in mind, and please reach out if you've got any questions. But ceramic sealant, 1 to 250, this is really, that number is really just for cost consideration. You can increase this. Again, you know, the performance gets better the less dilute you use it. So keep that in mind. Total body protectant, 1 to 500 to 1,000. MSO-free drying aid or clear coat, 1 to 500 to 200. I list the 1 to 500, and really I could have listed 1 to 250 and even more concentrated, because the water breaking action is there at any dilution. So you're getting a ceramic sealant that also has water breaking action. You're getting a total body protectant that also has water breaking. For a windshield rain-x effect, 5 to 10% for hand wipe, 2 to 4 in a windshield washer. Great for wipe and shine products and waterless car wash products. And then 25-30% for hand finish. And then just to recap, so a mixture of silicone polymer and sweater ionic surfactant, global reach, global clearances, including reach, clear liquid, water thin, MSO oil free, easy to use, provides this ceramic finish. If you need to put that on the product label. Increased sheeting for improved drying, reduced squat, more biodegradable, great for water utility, costs and considerations, higher bio-based, drastically improved durability compared to MSO formulas, non-flammable, water reclamation preferred, reduced water spotting, wider dilution performance. And of course, usage all the way up to 1 to 2,000 plus. Again, if preceded by other protectants, this can dilute further. And that's all I've got. Thank you.
Thank you, Jordan. We had a couple questions if you have a few minutes.
Sure.
Okay, first question, is CAV cationic?
Yes, CAV has a cationic functionality, but again, it's a reduced quaternary load compared to other drying agents. The component that we use, in addition to our silicone component, is zwitterionic, so it doesn't have quite the antimicrobial effects that a lot of cationics do. That
Okay.
People are concerned with as far as reclaim systems.
Okay, next question, is there any water treatment needed for diluting CAV, ROI-DI, etc.?
But there's not, I mean, across protectants, you know, water softening, RO, are beneficial. I guess a key point I would make is the need for surface neutralization. RO water, when you prepare it, drops its pH. So something to consider when you're thinking about using RO for diluting the CAV.
Okay, next question, is CAV Body Shop safe? And can it be added to soaps or cleaners?
Body Shop safe. I guess I may need a little bit of clarification on exactly what you're talking about. But the chief concern there, is I understand it, is being able to paint and avoid the fish eyes. These are not reactive ceramic products. They do not permanently bind to the surface. So with thorough detergency, you can remove these products and avoid that issue. And then remind me the second part of that
Yeah.
question, Megan?
Can it be added to soaps or cleaners?
Yes, it's a perfect product for that. Um, we're going to be launching some formulation kits at some point in the future, and I was imagining providing this type of product to be added to, a bucket wash or something like that to create your sort of wash and shine products.
Okay.
Again,
Yep.
it goes back to the components in this product being widely compatible with all other surfactant types.
Okay. And even if they are high in pH?
Yes, the functionality of electrostatically depositing these is inhibited at higher pHs. You do still get um, that performance if you use it at high enough concentrations. So if you're using it in a soap where you're using, several percent, usually that overcomes it. But when you're using uh, these products as drying aids, where you're trying to really meet your economic goals, and you're diluting it way down, that can inhibit that specific performance.
Okay. Does this affect the overall color of the car?
No, it does not.
Okay. And can
Well,
they be,
so
oh, go ahead.
I guess I would say it does improve gloss. So if you're talking about improving the shine and improving that color appearance, um, it does have a benefit there, but this is not going to alter um, the color of the car in any way.
Gotcha. Um, can they be used in acids?
Yes.
Great. Um, well, that's all the questions that I have right now. Oh, I just have one more come through. We'll answer this one. Compatible with IPA?
Um, it's a water-based product, um, but yes, addition with IPA should work. Um, feel free to reach out to me with any specific formulation questions. I'd be happy to talk.